Good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. Butker on for the PAT. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. It's a squibber picked up around the 27. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Good yardage after the catch as that play good for 30 and a first.
Still all sorts of time left in this game, and you'd like to be able to say take it one play at a time. But the truth is, they're probably going to have to hit on a few big plays in the passing game to close this gap, and that's a good start right there.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
Here's Hurts to throw. And a loose football.
Oh, fumble.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season. And that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's the...
And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. George Karlaftis. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
For a rookie first-rounder, he's made a huge impact on this defense, but that tells me that they had a plan for him when they drafted him. Just turn him loose, do what you do best, go get the quarterback.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this carry brought to an end at the 8. Good stick skills, just not much room there to operate. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Throwing is Hurts. Touchdown! Devontae Smith from 8 yards out. And the Eagles get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did. They didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded right. Oh, a miscommunication on the lateral. The ball's out. And I believe he was able to get this back. He was. Boy, after giving up the touchdown, lucky that didn't turn into another.
I didn't do this in college, but I did it in high school. When you return kicks and you lose it yourself, the panic that goes through you and the determination to get the ball back.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line. It's a sack. Brandon Graham just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Back near his goal line. Here's Mahomes to Valdez-Scantling over the middle. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. And they'll try to get the spike off, but they won't do it in time. And that will end this first half. One of the greatest performances of the year usually, but not here. Halftime of the Super Bowl is skipped, and we are on to the second half. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. And I think you'd have to say their coaching staff, all things considered, had to be pleased with their performance in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Definitely pleased, doing their best not to show it to their team, of course, because as you...
Oh, contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. A big play there for KC, 62 yards. Turns into a long play on the post route, but he was there. What makes that so tough to defend?
When you run routes that pull extra defenders away from the middle of the field and leave it open for a one-on-one, and your quarterback manipulates that defender with his eyes, you can often get a big play right down the middle.
No, that
and
was
it's nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up fourth down here.
Becker's kick here is good, and that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. Hurts and the Eagles come up here first and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start with a handoff to Sanders. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. And a solid job using his legs. 16 yards and a first down on the keeper. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, He committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
They go play action with Hurts. Going across the middle, and Goddard's
Let's
got
go.
it. And he'll be
How's that
brought
first?
down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 22-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
This will be caught at about the 6. And the Eagles are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Eagles are an extra point away from tying up this Super Bowl. Elliott now to add the extra point. And he gets it to go, and we're all even. 17 apiece. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half. Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Eagles. And some room to maneuver. And that, Charles, you'd have to think a pretty avoidable mistake.
You're exactly right about that, partner, because it all comes down to covering up the football. Look, turnovers are going to happen. They're inevitable. But in a tie game in the third quarter,
and now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
That's how long. It's gotta be. Yeah.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is taken in at the 5. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Chiefs, on the final play of the third quarter, have taken the lead.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Just one more quarter remains in the season-long race for the Lombardi Trophy here at Super Bowl 57 from Glendale. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And it's quickly becoming now or never time in the Super Bowl, trailing by 7 here in the fourth. A pivotal moment in this football game. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Nick Bolton. And the Chiefs are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
Boy, tight game like this, fourth quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelsey, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Chiefs are starting to pull away in the fourth quarter of this Super Bowl. CD, you know, anytime they get close to the red zone, he is such a threat, and there he is again already, his second touchdown of the ball game.
And I know it's probably a little bit of a failing on my part, but you know I watch a game through defensive eyes, and I don't understand what the coverage was doing there. When he headed out deep, they should have adjusted and thrown towards him. Instead, they left him out there and gave him a chance to make a big play, and of course he did exactly that. His size, speed, and versatility makes him a top target in any game.
And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And we're at the time in this Super Bowl where, look, they need points. And they need them badly. Trailing here in the fourth quarter as they begin this drive 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Up the middle they go with Sanders, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. He'll look to throw. Flush, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. George Karlaftis able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
How about that, partner? His second sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. Hurts throw here taken in as he's able to find Goddard. Just a gain of a couple there. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. They'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Again, bro.
Trent McDuffie with a pick, and the Chiefs will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection, and now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
Mahomes' throw here complete to Kelsey. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. They go play action. Now Mahomes. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. They'll roll him out right.
Why did I throw it to him?
And it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. He got out of the pocket there, was wondering what he was going to do with it, but I think he was calling, his receiver was calling for the ball, wasn't he?
He certainly was. The problem, he called for it too late, and when he delivered, they were all over him in the secondary and came up with the interception.
Well, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Buying time to his left. Into the hands of Sanders. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down. Going for it with Sanders. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. One crisis averted, but they still need to move hastily. Hurts. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone going to be on the same page right now.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Trent McDuffie with a pick, and the Chiefs force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Well, we knew this was going to be a tall order anyway, down 2 scores with this little time remaining, but that interception puts an end to any hopes that they had.
All right, partner. Obviously scoring a touchdown.
Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. On play action, it's Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Open man. It's the tight end, Kelsey. And a timeout comes in. The whistle's blown with 3 seconds remaining. Mahomes to throw once more. Now he's going to throw deep right side. Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10. And the Kansas City Chiefs are the Super Bowl champions. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.